Mr. Chancellor, welcome back to campus. We are yours once again.
Thank you, Taylor. I should note for the record that out-of-state tuition in 1961 was $361 a semester. Yeah, weep. Well, to one and all, greetings and my congratulations to all those being honored today, especially Fran, Hunter, Trudier, and Governor Northam. 325 years is a long time, ancient by American standards. On an occasion like this, I think it's informative to look back to our origins. We began with people. On February 8, 1693, when pen hit parchment to charter the institution we have all come to know and love, the first words written were the names of two people, our royal progenitors, William and Mary. And from the beginning, people mattered at William and Mary and to William and Mary. In the first paragraph of the college's charter, 18 people are listed by name and described as well-beloved. Of course, not all people were well-beloved for much of the college's history. For example, the college was already 225 years old when women were first admitted in 1918. We celebrate the centenary of that historic advance this year. When I enrolled as a freshman from Kansas in the fall of 1961, there were virtually no students of color at William and Mary. Indeed, the entire Commonwealth of Virginia was steadfastly segregated. And when I graduated in 1965, as I recall, there was one part-time African-American student. But 2 years later, in 1967, Lynn Briley, Janet Brown, and Karen Eli enrolled. And through their grace, and perseverance, and courage, they taught powerful lessons at this place, founded as a place of universal learning. Together, we have made strides along the path of inclusivity, a path we must continue to travel. As I told the men of Morehouse College in my commencement address in 2010, ours is an imperfect nation that has been and will always be a work in progress. It falls to each generation to ensure that we continue along the path of progress. But our challenge today goes beyond inclusivity. It goes to our growing inability to discuss our differences civilly, with open minds and open hearts. Ever since walking these grounds as an undergraduate, I've been fascinated and inspired by the role this small corner of our country and this college played in shaping the United States of America. The leaders at Jamestown were always fighting with each other. And yet, whatever their differences, the survival of Jamestown and other fragile communities in the New World would depend on finding ways to overcome differences. I believe the example of those leaders, and later our founding fathers, who stood on principle whenever they could, yet compromised when needed for the greater good, has important lessons for today. Lessons too many Americans fail to understand in an age of scorched earth political warfare. Lessons about the importance of civility and mutual respect, putting country before self and country before party. At the national level, we have lost the ability to execute even the most basic functions of government, much less solve the very difficult and divisive problems facing us. Just at a time when our country needs more bipartisanship to deal with our serious long-term problems, most of the trends are pointing in the opposite direction. I have worked for 8 presidents of the United States and known many politicians in both parties for more than 5 decades. And I never met one who had a monopoly on revealed truth or on wisdom. We have too many leaders in both parties whose outsized egos are coupled with undersized backbones, who think they alone have the right answers, and who demonize those who think differently, and who refuse to listen to and take other points of view into account. America faces a lot of challenges. To overcome them requires a willingness to listen and to learn from one another, an ability to see and understand other points of view, and the wisdom to calibrate principle and compromise for the greater good. These qualities comprise the history and the essence of the William and Mary experience. In the urgent endeavors that lie before us, I have no doubt that the graduates and scholars of William and Mary have a special role and a special obligation to be part of finding solutions. It will require inclusivity, but also mutual respect, open minds, the conviction that every person has intrinsic value. And as King William and Queen Mary declared 325 years ago, that each person in our William and Mary family is well beloved.